And we are live. What's good, y'all? What's up? What's good? How y'all feeling? Welcome. Y'all know what it is. Do y'all saying I really want to know podcast edition, late night edition. Just getting the week started. I did a short earlier today. I gotta be honest with y'all, man. I just got to do more. I'm just not doing enough. I'm looking at what's going on. I am competitive. I'm not crazy competitive. Like some people just lose everything because they got to win. I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? The win, no matter what. I'm not that dude. But I do see what's going on. I do push myself. I am a hard charger. And I'm kind of looking now to monetizing everything. The analytics like really get big and I'm seeing what's going on. And I'm like, I just got to keep pushing. I got to keep pushing. And you know what I mean? I know there are other content creators out there who started around the same time that I started. Some of them are doing not as well as me. Some of them are right where I am, and some are doing really well. You know what I mean? I'm looking at myself like, well, how do I get to that really well category? And we going to get there, especially with y'all support because y'all keep rocking with me. Sorry I was gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I normally don't put too much up on the weekends. Anyway, that's going to change here pretty soon towards the end of quarter one. I'm gonna start doing more vlogs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I gotta keep pushing. Man. And a lot of it too is, and shout out to Mel King. Melanie King, when she came back after a while, she took a few months off. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but she was gone. And when she came back, Mel is real transparent. She came back, she was like, yo, I was depressed. As much success as she has on YouTube and, like the money and the status and the access and all that, right? Still, she was like, I was depressed. And she was gone for a few months. And I get it. Like, depression, Andrew Tate went viral on Fresh and Fit for saying depression isn't real. That was the clip. But when you actually watch what he was talking about, yeah, he agrees depression is real. He simply says, we give it power. He was like, depression is only as real as you make it. And, that's the way I was paraphrasing. But he was, he's talking about, like, if you believe in ghosts, and you go into a scary house and you're in the house with someone who doesn't believe in ghosts, every time you hear bumps in the night or, funny noises, you're going to be like, oh, that's a ghost. Whereas the person who doesn't believe in ghosts, like, yo, man, that's probably the wind. Let's, get some sleep, man. Quit waking me up. So he kind of looks at depression like that. Depression is definitely a real thing. People, you don't need to get medicated for it. You just need to push through it. Yeah, life is hard. You know what I mean? It is very difficult. Welcome to the world. Welcome to this existence. It ain't easy. And if you find yourself in that situation, you're feeling like you don't want to do anything, you just want to lay around the house and sleep and eat cake, right? And watch cartoons or whatever, that might have something to do with it. There might be something going on with you. You just may be depressed and you need to get out there. You need to push through it. Sister Candace, what's good? How you feeling, love? Always a pleasure to see you. Yeah, late night. I had to, I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't. I'm like, I did the short today. I got the pod set for tomorrow. We're going to be talking about what happened to a guy who reported his boss for inappropriate touching to HR and what happened to him. Is a good article. But I got to do something every day. I got to be on the grind. I got to be out here in these trenches. So what's up, love? Good to see you. Good to see you. Brother Mike's in the house, always supporting. What's good, Brother Mike? How you feeling, bro? How you feeling? That's for you. And Sister Candace, thanks again for jumping on. I did a pre-recorded show with Jay Swans and you jumped on there about what the situation in Memphis. I saw you in the chat. I made a banner that said this isn't live and then I forgot to press the banner. 2/3 of the stream was over before I put the banner up there. So whenever I do the pre-recordeds, and I'm going to be doing more pre-recorded stuff, I'll make sure I have the banner scrolling from the very beginning. You know me. I had one of those senior moments.
You big dummy.
That was me. The big dummy. Made a banner, didn't even use it. But thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all. I really do. We're just gonna keep rocking this thing. We're gonna keep going. Hey, y'all like the video? I'm learning, sister. I'm learning. Hit that like on the way in. Yeah, so like depression, yo, it can sneak up on you. It really can. It can sneak up on you, and it's as real as you make it. You know what I mean? Let's put it to you like that. When these things happen, you just got to push through it. You look at Andrew Tate, you look at Tristan Tate, and where they're sitting right now, they're in a Romanian jail. They're not in like a British jail. They're not in an American jail. You know what I mean? They're in a Romanian jail. It has to be horrific in there. But them boys are dealing with it. You ain't gonna see them boys come out talking about they're depressed. They're gonna get out of there and they're gonna get right back to it. Right? They're probably doing mad push-ups if they can. They eating horrible food. You know what I mean? They're dealing with horrific, conditions. I'm pretty sure physically they ain't worried. I'm sure they're being protected. The last thing the Romanians want is something to happen to the Tate brothers. That's the absolute last thing they want. And the update on that situation, just like I said when it first popped off, the allegations, the horrific stuff, the human trafficking stuff, the grape stuff, like, nah, I didn't think any of that was true. I was worried about what? I was worried about the ties to organized crime, right? And what are they hitting them with right now? What are they going through right now? They're looking at their finances. They're trying to look for tax evasion type stuff or whatever. So again, that sounds like it's going to the ties to organized crime thing. That has me worried. But even the rest of the world, even the people who don't know who they are, who only recently found out who they are, they're looking at the situation. They're trying to figure out why these guys are locked down. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of pressure on the Romanians right now to come up with something. If they can't, they're gone. And there's so many videos out there floating right now. 2 out of the 4 women that were quote unquote victims have already spoken up. Like, nah, we're not victims. And there's something to do with CC footage, like, CCTV footage, recordings of the inside of the residence where they said that these alleged events or actions were taking place. And I guess the prosecutors have destroyed them, or they're not going to use them in the case. Something's weird going on with that. So I anticipate the Tate boys getting out here within the next couple of weeks. We'll see how it plays out. There's a lot of noise out there reference to Tate boys right now, the Tate brothers. But again, you know what I mean? Like I said, they're going through something really bad right now. Be real easy to just throw your hands in the air and just blame depression or whatever. And Sister Candace Roach's bed bugs are set in the jail. Absolutely. Plus the child. The food has to be horrific. The sanitation conditions horrific. Probably don't have hot water. Or if they do, you probably got to pay for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all kind of craziness going on inside that facility. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But you got to push through it. I've been through some bad things. I've never been through anything like that. When it comes to, getting locked up in a Romanian facility. I've never been through anything like that. Hopefully I never will. But you got to take it on the chin. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So that's why I wasn't going to do the show, because I knew that was, you know what I mean? That was that's how it starts. Little bitty things like, oh, just wait, just put it off. And that's how you get in trouble. I'm like, nope, I'm about to jump on right now. Plus, I was watching Fresh and Fit earlier this evening. Yeah, Charleston White on there. I'm going to be doing some reaction to that. Really good video. Look, tomorrow I'm going to be doing some reactions. I'm going to post them up. I was never a fan of Charleston White. Didn't really know him. And the only thing I knew of him was the clips. And, of course, the clips are always going to be negative. You never really get to see the clips in full context unless you go back and watch the long form. This is the first sit-down interview I've watched. And, man, I tell you what. I ain't going to lie. Shout out to Myron and Fresh. Shout out to Fresh and Fit for, having a platform where you can have folks come and say their piece. You know what I mean? Myron and Fresh come from completely different worlds compared to someone like Charleston. And here's the thing. I'm closer to his world than I am Myron and Fresh's. The way I came up was closer to Charleston's world. You know what I mean? So definitely going to be speaking on that tomorrow. I'll be checking it out. You know what I mean? Sister Candace, I'm sure you've been in some grimy barracks. I have been. I've been in some really bad, nasty. I've been in some barracks that were like World War II era barracks. You can see through the floor, no insulation, cold or hot, depending on what season it is. Insects everywhere, whatever. That was that Army life. The Army life was the life for me. I was about that. You know what I mean? And then I was in the field all the time. And when you're talking about being in the field, being dirty. Smelling like what a human really smells. I know what humans really smell like. You know what I mean? I have been there. I tell this story all the time. I've been on missions where we're in the field so long and we smell so bad that deer and other animals will walk right over us. They wouldn't even know we were there. We were there, you know what I mean, on whatever mission. Could have been a sneak and peek or whatever. We could have just eyes on target. And animals will walk right past you. They couldn't even, you smell like the environment. You know what I mean? So that's when I knew, boy, I can't wait for this mission to be over. But, humans, just so you know, boy, humans smell bad. We smell bad. But yeah, Thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for coming through. We're going to have a little talk about money and dating. Money and dating. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the views up. People really like it when I talk about red pill, manosphere stuff, talk about dating, the sexual marketplace, and then when I talk about celebrities. So I'm going to, I'm gonna focus on that. That's what the analytics are for. I'm going to look at it and see what's going on. I'm going to keep putting stuff out that people tend to like. And then some of the political stuff, not all of it. Some of the political stuff gets a lot of views. We're going to keep doing this, y'all. We're going to keep pushing forward. Like I said, I'm not one of those guys that got to win like Myron. I ain't like that. I ain't crazy with it. But I ain't trying to lose. I don't never lose. You know what I mean? We airborne, man. We don't do that. We got to accomplish the mission. So we're going to keep it going. So we're going to talk about, there's an article I found when it comes to dating and earnings, right? So before we get into the article, there's something I wanted, because this has to do with money. And, the red pill always talks about the 3 6s, and one of the 3 6s is 6 figures, right? So women, generally speaking, when they talk about what are they looking for in a spouse when it comes to, financial stability, generally speaking, they want a guy that makes good money. More often than not, they want a man who makes at least as much as they make, if not more, preferably more, right? So when you're talking about hypergamy, and if you believe in hypergamy, and hypergamy is dating up, basically. If you believe in hypergamy and you accept that most women think like this, then they're going to want guys to make at least more than they do, preferably a good chunk of money. And, depending on what type of girls you're talking to, what type of women you're talking to, they're like, ideally, I would love to have a man who makes over 6 figures, right? That's where the whole 666 things, 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack. You know what I mean? Or other sixes, whatever. But those seem to be the main 3. They want a guy who's fit, making 6 figures or better, and is 6 feet or higher. And we're gonna talk about just how rare that is. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about it a little bit. So here's something right here we found on ZipRecruiter. And it was a real simple Google search. It was like the first thing that came up. I just typed in the average male salary per year in America, and this came up. And it looks like the national average for a male, $37,301 a year is basically $18 an hour. That's the nationwide average. In Tampa, Florida, it's a little bit less than that. It's about $34,553, right? I live in Tampa, as y'all know. So how much does a male make? As of January 23rd, 2023, the average annual pay for a male in the United States is $37,301 a year. Just in case you need a simple salary calculator, that works out to be approximately $17.93 an hour. This is the equivalent of $717 a week or $3,108 a month. While ZipRecruiter is seeing annual salaries as high as $59,000 and as low as $15,000, the majority of male salaries currently range between $25,000, that's the 25th percentile, to $37,500, that's the 75th percentile, with top earners, the 90th percentile, making $49,500 annually across the United States. The average pay range for a male varies greatly by as much as $12,500 a year, which suggests there may be opportunities for advancement and increased pay based on skill level, location, and years of experience. Based on recent job postings on ZipRecruiter, the male job market in both Tampa and the surrounding area is very active. A male in this area, on average, makes $34,553 per year, or $2,748, 7% less than the national average annual salary of $37,301. Florida ranks number 48 out of 50 states nationwide for male salaries. So ouch, at the bottom for men. To estimate the most accurate annual salary range for male jobs, ZipRecruiter consistently scans its databases of millions of active jobs published locally throughout America. So, and it kind of goes into this. We might have to revisit this page here in a second. But fellas, looks like if you're in Florida, you might want to move to another state. Florida ranks 48 out of 50. There's only 2 states worse than Florida when it comes to men making money. Ooh, geez, fellas, y'all might want to reconsider where you're living at these days. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So keep that in mind. The average salary in America, $37,301. That's for men. The average man is making basically $37,000 a year, right? Almost $18 an hour. That's the average man. Keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind, because we're about to go into an article. I saw the headline, didn't even read it. I'm like, you know what? Because I was sitting here, I was about to read the article, and I'm like, why don't I just do this live? Because I know I'm gonna want to talk about it. So how about I just do this? We got Brother Helk in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling? I know I keep saying this, bro, but we are getting closer and closer to your show, man. I want to set that up. I definitely want to talk about deepfakes, bro. That's going to be a good show. That, again, not going to be a show that's going to get a lot of views, bro. I'm just, for whatever reason, tech doesn't do that well on this platform yet. We're still real young. As we grow, the views will go up, the numbers will go up. But I really want to talk about that, bro. I'm going to hit you up, man. Do me a favor, bro. If you don't hear from me by tomorrow, please hit me up on Wednesday so we can set a day and a time. I want to do that, man. You've been sending me some fire info on that, bro. I want to do it. Brother Jason's in the house. What's good, fam? How you feeling, man? You're like, damn, I'm rich. Yeah. Yeah, that's relative. You know what I mean? It's relative. But what does that mean for the sexual, for dating, the sexual marketplace, right? And we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to jump into this article, Yahoo News. I just saw this thing today, like tonight. I was just going through my feed. I was looking for another story, and this article jumped up. This is Yahoo News, Business Insider. When it comes to dating, earning less than $30,000 is a deal breaker, a new survey shows. So that's the headline, y'all. So I wonder who they're referring to when they say that $30,000 is a deal breaker. Right now, again, I haven't read this article, but when I look at this, right off rip, they must be talking about women. Why? Because guys don't generally care how much women make. They don't care. In the early stages of things, they don't. Could it become a problem later on? Yeah. I know that I have gotten rid of or got myself out of a dating situation with a woman who wasn't earning near her potential. And you get, what do you mean her potential? Well, she was earning 6 figures plus. Then she stopped to chase her dreams. Then she met me. Nothing happened. And years later, she was like, oh, I was really feeling you. Word, this was a beautiful woman. This is a beautiful woman. She ain't no words to it. Is a beautiful woman. So we wound up giving it a try. And she had all kind of degrees, like STEM stuff, like really, really high end, like I'm talking, she could have been 200,000 plus salary if she wanted. She just had all these boxes checked. She had the education. She had the know-how. She could have been making bread. She chose not to. She wanted to stay home and just spend money, right? So I was waiting because I knew her. She was a hustler. Like, all right, I've always known you to be a hustler. What happened to your hustle? You know what I mean? She's comfortable, just sitting there, just chilling. You know what I mean? While I was out. So, this kind of be one of those situations, like on Fresh and Fit, Myron's always talking about this. Like there are a lot of women who are like, oh, I want a traditional relationship. Okay, you want a traditional relationship when you want it. You know what I mean? If you meet somebody and you a modern woman and then you come holler at that dude is like, yo, I met the modern woman. That's what I'm trying to get at. And all of a sudden you shift gears. Now you want to be traditional and just sit at home and cook and clean and look pretty. Nah. I don't know this person. That's not what I was imagining. And the problem with that, ladies, is it's only one real problem with it. When you come as a woman like that, like you were out there being independent, now you want to be traditional. Well, you come with all that baggage as an independent woman. You come with all your car, your insurance, right? You come with your bills, your student loans, your credit card debt. You come with all that. So it's like, well, hold on. All that stuff still needs to be paid, and you want to come home and cook and clean. I could cook. My place is already clean. What's going on here? And a lot of times women like that, they want to be in charge of the money. Like, yo, I don't have a problem. If I'm with someone, we're long-term, or we're going to go there. I don't mind her taking care of the budget and this and that. But in this particular situation, I'm dealing with the individual who was trying to run the finesse. If they get a hold of the budget, they control the money. Now they can pay off all their stuff. You see what I'm saying? So ladies, be real careful with that. You're out here being an independent woman, you're meeting people, and then all of a sudden, I'm just going to shift into being a traditional woman. Nah, it might not be that easy for you. So I actually had to let her go. Like, look, I wasn't trying to tell you need to go get a job. We had a talk like, what happened to your hustle, this and that? Like, I told you, you said I could just come out here and get on my feet. I'm like, yeah, get on your feet doesn't mean sitting by the pool all day. You know what I mean? Getting on your feet doesn't mean you get to sit back and just enjoy the lifestyle that I provide. Nah, you an earner. You got to get out here and earn. So we can enjoy the fruits of our labor and level up and take care of stuff and start to merge these two lives together and figure out the bills and this and that. Nah, she didn't want that. She came in hard. Like, yo, I just want you to pay for everything. Pay my insurance. Pay for my car. You know what I mean? I got to feed you. I gotta pay for housing. Like, everything for me went up. All the bills went up. And then I took on all this other debt that wasn't even mine. So yeah, she had to go. She had to go. And like I said, she had the resume to get a job that would have paid her $60,000, $70,000 easy without even trying. That's before going out and finding a recruiter to specialize in what she went to school for. She could have got that where we were and would have been making well in the six figures. She might have been making more than me, just right off the rip, just because there weren't a lot of people, especially women, women with her ethnic background that qualified. She would have been paid. I don't know what happened to her. Never talked to her again after, after we went our separate ways. But it goes to that this was a long tangent to tell y'all that, Myron and Fresh talk about this all the time. Myron, shout out to Myron Gaines. He says it all the time. Like, women, they don't tend to want to take care of anybody. They don't want to go out there and be the breadwinners and stuff like that. A lot of women don't. You know what I'm saying? Brother Cody's Kings in the house. What's good, fam? Always good to see you. Nightish is in the house as well. What's good, Nightish? Always a pleasure. What's good? That's for you. Welcome back, D. I really want to know podcast and chat room. Yes, thanks for the welcome back. Yeah, brother Hayoko, student debt, all kind of debt. Ladies, it's real hard. Like, it's almost impossible to go from being an independent woman to wanting to be a traditional woman. It's just so difficult to do that. We're not even going to talk about body count, which I personally never talk about when I'm talking to a woman. I've never asked a woman about her body count. I never will. Right? I don't care what your body count is. You can have a body count of 300. Don't act like it. You can have a body count of 3, but you acting like, you know what I'm saying, you for the streets. You see what I mean? So it's all about, y'all know I talk about this all the time, plausible deniability. Plausible deniability only works when you don't have any proof. So long as you ain't out there putting your life on in the web, you know what I mean? You ain't out there putting your life in the cloud. There ain't mass pictures of you twerking, hanging out on a bunch of boats and in exotic cars and, at restaurants you can't even pronounce. So long as you ain't doing that, you good with me. You know what I mean? I ain't saying don't go out there, do those things, but don't have the video evidence, because I'm going to look at it like, bro, you ain't making that kind of bread. So I got on this long tangent because we're talking about $30,000. The article says when it comes to dating, earning less than $30,000 is a deal breaker, a new survey says. And I bet you $1 to a donut, men aren't saying this. Guarantee you this is coming from women. We'll see here in a second when we start reading this article. Brother Hayoka, she wanted to enjoy the lifestyle while you worked. Absolutely. Why not? She was a dime. You know what I mean? Waiting at the finish line for the winners, right? Shout out to Rich Cooper. He says it all the time. Women don't build. They wait at the finish line and they smash the winners. I have to agree with him on that. I was trying to get on his show tonight. I was over there checking him out. He went on a little early. They were talking about Sigma males. I'm actually gonna do a reaction video to that video later on this week. Rich Cooper always has a lot of people. And he wasn't able to get all of us on there, and I was trying to get on there. But, man, that guy has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I rock with him. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Rich Cooper. Go over there, like and subscribe. Check out his content. And that's his book behind me at the butt of that shotgun back there, Unplugged Alpha. That's Rich Cooper's book, a very good book. I highly recommend that for all young men, especially, but all men in general. Y'all should read that book, especially if you're considering taking on a woman who has a family already. If you're deciding to be a stepdad, you know what I mean, to marry a woman who already has a family, you really need to read that book, Unplugged Alpha. Make sure y'all read that. So let's get back to this article, right? And again, thanks for rocking with me, y'all. There's some folks in here checking this out. I know it's late. You know what I mean? I know it's late. There's only a couple of us in here, man, but we're going to just keep rocking it. Team replay, this will be a good one for y'all. So let's get into this article. Baby boomers list too low salary as one of their top 3 dating deal breakers. The story I told y'all, you might say, well, yo, Uncle Saint, you got rid of her because she had a low salary. No, I got rid of her because she didn't want to work at all. I don't care how much she went out and made. And I told her as much, too. We did have a conversation towards the end. I'm like, look, I don't care what you do. We were in like a progressive city, and like I said, she's a dime. I'm like, you could go right downstairs across the street and, be the hostess at the bar right there. Just wear your pretty black dress and just sit there, and seat people. She could have done that. I don't care what she did. My thing was like, you just ain't gonna sit here while I take care of your life. No. If that's what I were looking for, I would have gone somewhere else to find that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I would have gone somewhere else to find that. I don't want a woman who was traditional I don't want a woman who was independent and now she wants to holler at me so she could be traditional. No. I was like, you got to do something, and she didn't want to do it. In fact, she had a job lined up that was guaranteed to pay her $60,000, I think it was. And it was just one of those, basically show up. Like they would, hire twice a year. She got in there. They wanted her. Boom. All she had to do was show up, and she did. And she's like, well, I would have done it, but my friend was getting married, and I wanted to go to the wedding. Like, what? I was like, nah, that was it right there. Like, oh, you got to go. So baby boomers are saying too low salary is one of the top tier 3 dating deal breakers. That number, $29,878 a year and lower, according to a Western and Southern Financial Group survey. So they actually put numbers out there to it. Almost 30% of 1,008 people surveyed said they wish they had brought up salaries sooner. Dating just got a little more complicated for American singles. A new survey shows that making less than $30,000 a year is a deal breaker. Specifically, people expect partners to make more than $29,878 annually, according to Western and Southern Financial Group survey of 1,008 married Americans. Not a lot of people there, though. I mean, it's a very small study, but hey, numbers are numbers, whatever. And they were all married. And this was published last week. This is lower than the median annual salary in the U.S. in 2021, which is about $37,522, according to the U.S. Census Bureau data. So look at that, 2021. 37,500 was the average, and looked like it's gone down. According to, now this was in Census Bureau, but according to ZipRecruiter, looks like it's gone down. The national average for men, not women, but for men, is $37,301 a year. So, I think it is what it is. Even though respondents said they were looking for a partner making at least that much, only baby boomers listed too low a salary as one of the top 3 dating deal breakers. The top deal breaker for this generation was personal loans, credit card debt, no investment, and no investment value for the third place. So I guess they did a breakdown by generation. They're still not listing. Yeah, they're saying they're talking to married couples, but they're not really talking about who. They just said it was 1,008 people, but we don't have a breakdown. I guess it was even since they were married couples. I don't know if it was in a group setting or this is just an individual survey. I don't know. Millennials listed credit card debt as a generation's top deal breaker, while irresponsible spending and personal loans came in second and third place, respectively. For Gen Z, the top deal breaker was lack of financial literacy, while student loans and personal loans came in second and third position, respectively. Across the board, almost 30% of those surveyed said they wish they had talked about salaries sooner, but paychecks weren't the be all and end all. And that makes sense right here. right here, because again, this sounds more like something a dude would say, right? And they're saying across the board, 30% of those surveys said they wish they had talked about salary sooner. I can see that, both people saying it, but paychecks weren't the end all to be all. And when it comes to dudes, like, what are dudes looking for? Dudes are looking for just a type of woman they're looking for. Beauty, normally the top of the list. They want a woman who's, if they can find that, beautiful woman who's fit, who's friendly, who's feminine, that woman is going to generally win out all the time. Most dudes don't talk about money. Are there guys that talk about it? Yeah. You know what I mean? It costs a lot to live these days. You're talking about starting a family and all that. You're going to need 2 salaries in most cases. You're really going to need 2 salaries unless you're in the top, 14, 15% of people who are making $100,000 or more alone, right? That's cool, but that's still not, you can't live in LA on that well, right? You can't live in San Francisco, San Diego, New York, you know what I mean? Atlanta. You can't, like DC, you can't live on $150,000 household. Well, you can live on it, but it's not going to go far. You know what I mean? We like, well, if I'm making $100,000 and I found a woman who's making $100,000, $200,000, that's more like it. Now we can still do things and whatever. So, still can't tell who, you know what I mean? Like a gender breakdown, just reading this. You know what I mean? But people are wishing that they talk about salaries sooner. I mean, how soon do you want to talk about salaries? Again, men trying to smash. So like women control sexual access, men control relationships. You're not going to talk about how much money you make until it's time for that relationship phase. And if women are giving it up, they're probably never going to get to that conversation. You know what I mean? They're just probably not going to get it. Brother, hey, okay, it's the Cliff Notes to the Rational Male. Sounds like that. Brother Mike, like the video. Appreciate that, bro. Absolutely like the video. And brother, hey, okay, this is a baby boomer, probably. High credit card debt and personal loans, money mismanagement coupled with a lack of investment means poverty. It does. I agree with you there, bro. It's hard to make it. It's hard to make it like that if you're not good with your money. Trust me, I know. While nearly 23% of those surveys said too low a salary was a deal breaker, personal loans were the top turnoff. 31.5% of respondents said it was a deal breaker, followed by credit card debt, lack of financial literacy, and irresponsible spending. Like they kind of put that paragraph in there twice. Looking at the results of the survey, the Western and Southern Financial Group urged couples to talk about finances sooner rather than later. Before getting married, couples didn't talk much about finances, but afterward, conversations around investment, joint checking, and retirement savings started picking up steam, the group said in the survey report. Yeah, like, again, that's dudes falling in love. There she is. She's fit. She's friendly. She's feminine. But her credit's wrecked, you know what I mean? She got all this student loan debt, never finished school, you know what I mean? Credit score is messed up. Or maybe it's the other way around. Like the female, she has her stuff together, but the male is all jacked up, right? But they love each other. Like it's kismet. It was meant to be. It's the Disney fairy tale. And then boom, you get married and reality just kind of slams into the front door. You owe how much? Wow, like how's your credit score? 3. Like, how did you do this? 3? Or is there something missing here? What happened? Did the other 2 numbers fade off? No, it's really 3. Like, I didn't know they came that low. You feel me? So, and this is like, by this time, the women are like, I'm stuck with him. Right? And she's like, oh, I'm going to divorce him, but you ain't going to get nothing. He doesn't have anything. So is she stuck in a situation? Like, she loves him. She's attracted to him. Maybe he's the alpha dude. And she's like, oh, I'm going to let this guy go and I'm going to find me a beta somewhere that's going to help me take care of the baby that I got with this broke dude or whatever. That's when you start falling down that little rabbit hole of who does what. But they're saying that this conversation doesn't come up until after they're married. That is not the time to have that conversation. You want to have that conversation before you get married. Like, yo, what's up with your money? What's up with your finances? Like, you look like $1 million. Let's have a look at the books. I know a lot of people who look, they have the nice car, they wear the nice clothes. I know women who wear the jewelry and carry the appropriate bag. You know what I mean? I know women who have Hermes bags and stuff like that. The Chanel bags, you know what I mean? The Louis bags, the Gucci bags, you name it, they got it. But they don't have money like that. They spend their bread or they're finessing other people to get that stuff. So when you get into it, like, yo, what's up with your finances? You're marrying into that. You know what I mean? So it behooves the more savvy financial person in the relationship to get the other person together. Like, well, let's get your finances up. Let's get you some properties. Let's take care of this debt. Let's do this. Let's do that. You do all that, and then they leave you, bro, man or woman. I know a lot of women who have turned around dudes financially, helped them, brought them up, got them where they needed to be, taught these dudes lessons. Perfect. The guy divorces the woman, goes off and does his thing, and he's like, thanks for clearing up all my debt. He's got a fresh new start. They ain't have any kids. There's nothing she could do about it. They were married 4 or 5 years. He finessed her. I've seen it. It doesn't happen often, but it's happened. I've seen it. More often than not, though, it's the woman running the finesse. You know what I mean? So be careful out there, y'all. Brother Hayoka, it's $82,000 for low income fam. I guess low income for San Francisco being single. Compare that to the $30,000 and it's a wrap. Right. Like you're out in California. In California, you can, if you're making $65,000, $70,000 a year, I think you qualify for assistance. Like you get food stamps or the card. I don't even think it's food stamps, it's the card or whatever. You get housing assistance at $65,000 as an individual. It's crazy out there, man. I don't know about New York, but I imagine it's about the same. It's crazy, man. Let's see. The article continues. Although couples may feel they have lots of time to talk about finances after getting married, but in reality, you might regret it if you wait too long to go over those things. Together. It added. So, and this article came from the Business Insider. Not a whole lot of there when it comes to who was asking about the money, right? Like who was it actually asking about the bread? And for anyone who's like followed this platform or anybody who's been in like in the red pill spaces or manosphere spaces, how much you make really comes into play when you're talking about female mating strategy. When it comes male mating strategy, not so much. You know what I mean? Are there guys out there who look for women who make a lot of money? Of course. Yes. There are dudes out there, the Chads, the Pookie, the Ray Rays, the Tyrones of the world, the Trevors, they're out there. And, I've seen them in real life. I was in a club in LA. I was at the Dime. It was me and my buddy Ty Barnett. The Dime's is like a neighborhood bar on Fairfax. It's like Beverly Hills adjacent. It's in a good neighborhood. It's on Fairfax, close to Melrose, right? Just like a couple blocks south of Melrose. Still there, as a matter of fact. If you're ever in LA, go check it out. Thursday nights used to be a really good night, but any night's good. So we're in there, and Shania Latham was standing next to me, the actress. Now, most black dudes go crazy when you say her name. Like I still don't really know who she is. I know she did like that Love and Basketball movie, which I never watched. I can't think of any movie I've seen her in, so she's not on my radar. An attractive woman. She was standing next to me. She definitely, when I looked at her, we're in the bar, I'm looking at her, like she didn't fit in the bar we were in. And what I mean by that is the way she was dressed. She was dressed like we should be up on Sunset or Hollywood or in Santa Monica or Bel Air or something like that. She was dressed like that. Designer head to toe. Makeup was good. It wasn't like caked on. Like it was like professionally done, it looked like. You know what I mean? Hair was right, everything. And my man recognized her right away. I said something to her, because I keep telling y'all, when I'm out and about, I'm kind of like what Brother Michael was talking about, man. I'll always be shooting. I'm always speaking to people, women in particular, not trying to get on, just talking, just keeping my game sharp. I just wanted to see what was on her mind. You know what I mean? I hit her with the what's good, love type stuff. She started talking to me. And I looked over and she was with the woman who's complaining now that she's single. What is her name? I could see her head. I could see her face. I can't remember her name. But her and Shania Latham are like best of buddies. And at the time they were both in their 40s, late 30s, early 40s. The woman I'm thinking of was just on Pink Book. Let me pull it up. She was just on Pink. Now I gotta tell you her name. I gotta figure it out. She was on Pink Book Lessons, complaining basically that she's basically hit the wall, and she's got in the bag. She's got all kind of money, and she's not happy. Let me see if I can find her name for you. And it's gonna, when I say her name, you guys gonna be like, "Oh, bro, you didn't know?" I'm like, man, I'm sorry, I be forgetting names, but she is. I cannot think of her name. But she was on a couple TV shows, and she's basically saying she's gonna go away for a month to some exotic place to find herself, quote unquote. But she, like I said, man, it's kind of a Taraji Harris, I think it is Taraji something. That's who was with Shania that night in the club. And Taraji was up in the booth. They had a couple bottles over there, and they had a couple male groupies in that group. That's what it was. It was Taraji, because I looked over, I recognized her right away. Shania Latham, I didn't recognize at all. I mean, it was a pretty woman, but I didn't know who she was. But Taraji, I looked over, I'm like, oh, that's little shorty from that thing. And me and my dude left because we was about to leave anyway. It was crowded. It was like the Dime is a very small place. If you ever go, it's a very small bar. It gets packed. It's cool. Like the kids say, it's a cool vibe. Taraji and her entourage had bought a few bottles. This place, they don't like bring them out with sparkles or anything like that. You buy bottles, they bring them over to you. Here you go. But you got to make that request with them. That's not something that they're known for, right? It's not that kind of bar. You know what I mean? It's literally a hole in the wall. But they needed a bottle. They had the section. They were pouring their own drinks, and Shania Latham was at the bar. She must have been at the bar either to holler at me or holler at somebody else. You know what I mean? She was at the bar. And like I told y'all, if a woman is in your orbit, she wants you to say something to her. And I did. I said something to her. I didn't know who she was. Me and Ty walked out the bar, and he was like, you ain't know who that was? I'm like, nah. She's like, bro, that's Shania Latham, boy, da-da-da. But, Ty was almost married. He was engaged at the time. So, he was just like, bro, what's up? You get a number? I'm like, man, nah, I wasn't even trying. I was just talking. You know me. I was just small talking, bro. We was about to leave. She was standing next to me. I had to say something. But I did see Taraji. Anyway, like, they were in there, and there were dudes in there. Groupie dudes, part of their entourage. That's the first time I'd seen it. I'm like, oh, man, I'd never seen groupie dudes before that moment. Right? L.A. So, yeah, those guys care about money. Right? Those guys weren't, if they were smashing or whatever, I think it was more important for them to be on the scene, to be seen with these people, to walk the red carpet, to be, in these areas, to be in the section. These dudes were like female groupies, the same thing. These guys cared about money, but most men don't do that. Case in point, if they'd have asked me to sit over there at their section, I'd have said, nah. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? But I probably would have bought a bottle and had my own section. Like, I ain't sitting at y'all section. Not with them dudes. They gonna get mad. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I ain't got time for that, shouty. Y'all come holler at me. Matter of fact, I just would have left. Like, well, let's meet up at so-and-so. I had them meet me somewhere else. Like, meet me at Trocadero's on Sunset. I'm on my way up there now. And they would have came up to Trocadero's. Like, leave these dudes here. I would have done something like that. But when you're dealing with women like that who are powerful, like they got that kind of money, they got that kind of clout, that kind of influence, bro, I'm trying to tell you, man, it's as a guy, it's going to be hard to negotiate that, to deal with that. So I don't care about the money, but women do. Women ain't trying to be with a broke dude. And I know what a lot of y'all thinking, like, but come on, DL. I know a lot of women taking care of these broke dudes, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I know some, but those relationships, do they work? Do they really work? I mean, some might, where the guy's just like passionate about something. But look, when Jeff Bezos' wife divorced him and she started dating a school teacher, then she married him. She married a school teacher and then she divorced him. Why? Because it was a boring life. She ain't want nothing to do with that. She top tier. She a 1%er for real. I think she's one of, if not the richest woman on the planet. You married to a teacher? He ain't gonna stop doing his thing. He ain't gonna stop teaching. He ain't gonna stop just to be with you. Whereas a woman will walk away from her life just to be with a Bezos. You know what I mean? Same thing with Giselle, Tom Brady's ex-wife. Who she started smashing? She started smashing the karate instructor, the jiu-jitsu guy, or whatever. Y'all really think that's gonna work? That's gonna last? Nah, that's not gonna last. She gonna replace that guy with somebody else. You know what I mean? So money doesn't mean as much to men as it does to women when we talking about the sexual marketplace. But so dudes, what does that mean? That means y'all gotta get y'all money right, man. Y'all gotta get y'all money on point. You have to. You have to. You got to be doing better than that $37,000. You need to get yourself up to the $60,000, $70,000 range. You want to be a little bit above average. And at the same time, you know what I'm saying, get your body right. You know what I'm saying? Get your game right. You're gonna have to learn game, fellas. Sorry. I hate to be the one to tell you. You're gonna have to learn game. You're gonna have to learn how to get out there and make that happen. And Sister Rouse is in the house. Yes, Taraji, yes, sir. Taraji P. Henson. That is her. Thank you. That is her. That was absolutely her. She was in the club that night with a bar that night. They was living the dream. I'm telling you, man, they was living that life. They was just independent women, looking good, doing good. Like I said, designer from head to toe. Now look at Taraji. She crying on interviews talking about she don't know what's wrong. She lonely, she this, she that. The wall don't care how much money you got. You hit the wall and you rich, okay. You just a post-wall woman who's rich. If you really looking for a good relationship, and if you wanted to be a mom and all that, man, you got to do all that before you hit 50. I don't care how much money you got. You know what I mean? I don't care. Brother Hayoka, that happened to a friend. She put her husband through school, and then he left right after. Yeah, ladies, you want to be careful of that. Dudes need to be careful of that too. Know who you're dealing with. That can happen. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen. You know, I've seen women get over more in those situations, but I do know men who've done that too. Right. Brother Hagel, she was in the Predator movie. That was Shania Latham in that Predator movie where she was actually working with the Predator it was Predator versus Alien, wasn't it? That was her? Okay. I did not know that, bro. I did see that movie. All right, now I know who she is. I did not know that. Thanks. Appreciate that. I didn't know. Brother Hayoka, even a woman with money has to make a decision, single with money or in a relationship with someone having less. That's a good point. I mean, and, women get to make their own minds up when it comes to this sort of thing. It is what it is. It's just money's not going to bring them the same type of satisfaction that, being a mom and having a family would, in my opinion. I'm not a lady, so I can't really speak on it. But we're starting to see this. You know what I mean? Vivica Fox, Taraji, Shania, who else? Like you got, you know what I mean? Jennifer Lopez, she got lucky and got back with an ex over a few relationships. She's just trying to whatever. Britney Spears. Like you got these women, they got kids, but they're, maybe paying child support like Halle Berry, Mary J. Blige. Like, it just, at least they have their kids. They say that the most unhappy human in America is a woman in her 40s making $100,000 a year or more and single. They say it's the most unhappy woman, and they're saying that the majority of women, from 28 to women from 28 to 30, I think, no, 28 to 40 are going to be single and childless. You know what I mean? Coming up real soon here. So it's kind of scary where we are right now. Like the dating marketplace is so messed up right now. You got these dudes out here who are extremely soft and they don't know how to interact with other humans, especially women. They're not earning money. They're not motivated to get out. They think everyone wins. There's no such thing as a loser, right? They're living in mom's basement or whatever. These women, they got some poor choices. So, like, of course, the women are going to want the top tier guys. They don't want the guys who are doing the best. But these guys will get all the choice, and they're doing what guys do. Men want sex. So what are they doing? They're just going through women. And women don't see these other guys who are out there. And they shouldn't see some of these dudes. I'm going to keep it 100. These dudes need to go ahead and get themselves together. You know what I mean? And even if the guy has a little bit of game, even the guy's kind of social, he goes out, bumps into a good woman, and then she finds out this man, he's making like $30,000, $35,000 a year. Yeah, I think she's going to move on. She might smash a couple times, but she's only going to take so much. But again, what do I know? I'm just an old man sitting in the attic talking to his computer. You know what I mean? But, like the manosphere keeps talking about women who are out there, and they're saying that the one thing that brings women fulfillment, joy, is, being a mom. And there are so many women who are missed their opportunity. They're freezing their eggs and stuff like that. Lolo Jones being one of them. Beautiful woman. Beautiful athlete. She was out there doing her thing. And she's out there talking about, this is so hard. I got to freeze my eggs. I'm pure. I'm a virgin. I've never been with anybody. and she's had top tier guys just falling over themselves trying to get at her. And she kept saying, no, 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 no. Wakes up one day, I'm old. I don't have any kids. I thought I'd be, and these dudes aren't really hollering at me like that no more. They ain't trying to get at me. So she doesn't know what to do. This is terrible. There was an article. It was on someone's YouTube. They were talking about a woman. I think she was out of Georgia, news correspondent. She had worked her way up to the anchor desk somewhere. She'd done some foreign correspondent stuff. Beautiful woman. Never chose a dude. Never settled down. Then she froze her eggs and she tried to do the in vitro. It's when you buy sperm or whatever, try to get it fertilized and placed in you or whatever. And I don't know anything about that, y'all. So just, if I'm wrong about the procedure, I apologize. But basically trying to have a baby without a man. She went and bought some man juice, tried to use science so she can get pregnant. That didn't work. So she ended up adopting. She ended up adopting, and she's living with her parents, and she's like in her mid to late 40s. And that's just such a sad thing. And again, this was a beautiful woman. She had her choice of men in her teens, into her 20s, into her 30s. And still, nope, until finally guys like, all right, they stopped messing with her. And now she's like, whoa, wait. Nah. So women are going to be talking about how much you make. You know what I mean? How tall you are, how you look, how you dress, how you smell, how you talk, how you walk. Guys don't be on that. Generally speaking, guys do not be on that. Sister Rosalind, if I was in my 20s now, with how dating is and this red pill, blue, purple pill stuff, I'd be too intimidated to date. Maybe, love. Maybe. I tell you this, though. What I'm seeing out here, young women are not shy talking to older men. It seems to me that they are actually gunning for older men. I guess I understood that young women especially, will always want someone a little older, but like they're hollering at me. They're hollering at guys like me. And it's kind of like, yo, what are you doing? And these are some really good women, like beautiful, young, ambitious women. And it just kind of gives me an idea of what's going on in this dating world. A lot of these women are starting to take a good look at what's going on, and they're starting to look at their body count. They're starting to look at, who they are pursuing, and they're coming to terms with it, like this red pill stuff. Oh man, yeah, maybe I am going after the top tier dudes. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't be sleeping with these dudes. You know what I mean? Maybe I should control access to sex, because they're definitely controlling access to relationships. And they're talking to old dudes, and, maybe they're not posting as much on social media. Not really, but they post, I think, way too much to social media. But it's difficult for these women. Like, these young women are like, yo, they'll, like some of them I actually talk to, like, yo, just, if you got any questions or whatever, something's bugging you, holler at me. And they'll tell me how these guys are approaching them. They'll tell me what they're dealing with. Like, oh, I met this one guy, such and such. I'm like, yo, you sure that guy's really got it like that? Because it sounds like he's on the coattails of his buddy. And they'll go look into it further. Like, oh my God, you're right. He doesn't have anything. He lives at home and da-da-da. Like, yeah, he's in the gym. He's, you know what I mean? He knows he's out there. Not that I'm trying to shoot down anybody's game, because let's face it, if a woman still wants to smash that dude, she's going to smash that dude no matter what. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not really into young girls like that. I'm not, young women. I'm not trying to be with a 24, 22-year-old, 23. But if she's a dime, bro, I'm going to have to holler at her. You know what I mean? But you're right, though. This dating world, this information is out there now. This information has always been there, but it's just out there now. And, women can watch red pill content. They can watch content like this. I'm a guy who's in the red pill space, but I'm not a red pillar, so to speak. Like, the way I look at it is just knowledge. It's just unplugging and really seeing the world for what it is. And I will share it. I'm really trying to help these young dudes. But I feel you, sis, like, being a 20-year-old woman out there today, if the average 20-year-old, 22-year-old, she wants these experiences. Shout out to Fresh. Fresh Prince CEO. Fresh talks about this all the time. Women want experiences. That's it. Andrew Tate talked about it. They just want the experience. They want to be able to get on a yacht. They want to fly on a private jet. They want to ride in an exotic car, right? They want to ride in a big Rolls Royce. Yeah, they want to sit in the section where all the VIPs are sitting. They want to walk the red carpet. They want the experience. They want to sit in a real nice restaurant, the fine restaurants, right? They want to go to a movie, like I said, walk the red carpet, be at the premiere. They want to be at these exclusive things. It's an experience. And in exchange for that experience, a lot of them don't mind giving you sexual access. It is what it is. Some of them, because they're constantly being pursued by all sorts of men, like they're literally just having money laid at their feet, their attitudes kind of get bad. And the guys at the top who know what they're doing, they get like, I'm going to run through this chick and send her on her way. And then once her beauty fades, she wakes up, but she wakes up too late. So like the red pill stuff isn't, I don't think there's anything necessarily to fear as a woman. I think it's more, I think women should be unplugged too. They should understand what's going on. Like you look at, just pearly things, like go watch her content. Look what she's saying. Look what she's doing. Making a bag while she's trying to find a husband. And Donovan Sharp was on an interview with her. I think it came out today. And yeah, Donovan Sharp he was like, I bet you'll be married by the end of the year or engaged. And, he's talking about how many guys are pursuing her now and this and that, which again is crazy. But it goes to what the red pill says, man. Like dudes want women, period. Most of the guys in the red pill space, I'm making up numbers here, but I would say 90% of the guys in the red pill space, now, I'm talking really all of them, they want a woman. They want to be in a relationship. That's what they want. They just don't know how to go about doing it. Right? That's the problem. That's the problem. They get themselves wrecked by women who know what they're doing, and then these guys tumble down a red pill rabbit hole, and then they come out, brand new or whatever. So, but these guys really want women. And I'm going to let you in on another little secret. These dudes, most of these dudes, they don't want to run a rotation. They don't want to be players. Not even player. Like we said in the episode about players, it's really hard to be a player, first of all. That's really difficult. I've only met a few players, real players in my life. But these guys don't want to learn game. They hate the fact that the game works. They hate it. Because it's like, I only got this woman because of the game. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And night is, they'll BJ away from being blue pill. Absolutely. And that's what happened. Most of these dudes, right, they'll listen to the content, or they'll come talk to someone like me or someone like Fresh or Myron or whoever. They'll talk to like someone like Troy, right? And then they'll get these little gems. They'll get just enough information to get the next woman or the woman they like to kind of be interested in them. If it's just a matter of switching up their style, like the clothes you wear, or the cologne you're wearing, or, your conversational skills, whatever it is, they get that little bit. And it's just like Nighty said, that woman to give them, they touch their pee or whatever. And then boom, they want to get married. They're in love. They put her on a pedestal, and there it is right there. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, 50% chance this is going to work. You know what I mean? Oh, you got married? Good luck, brother. Flip a coin. Because those are your odds right now. And I'm not a bad man like that, bro. I don't like them odds. So you're absolutely right. These guys really don't understand the game. They truly don't get it. And they put their shield down. They take off their armor with the first woman they meet. The one eye that sets in, they handcuff themselves to this woman. And, it's 50-50 chance. Either they get wrecked or it works. Or some wild variant in between, like this poly stuff and all that. Brother Heyoka, the wall reminds me of Scarface saying, have you ever seen them? Someone strong in the game overlooking their tomorrow till they finally came. Like, bro, it is what it is. If you think that's something, the Morgan Stanley report talking about 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 being single and childless by 2030, there it is right there. That is the report. You're going to hear that a lot, y'all, because we're coming up on 2030 quick. Doesn't include ages 20 to 24. Brother Hayek always brings that up. The reason it doesn't include the ages 20 to 24, really you could break that down from 18 to 24, because that is when women are at their peak on the sexual marketplace. That is when they have the most choices. That's when they have the most leverage. So those women are fine. Those women are fine. They're chilling. They're living their life. They doing it. They doing their thing, right? But once they hit 25, that's when some of them begin to realize that, hey, you know what I mean, their options are beginning to dwindle. And the closer they get to their, 40s, man, it's a wrap. So, I mean, that's why girls, they get baby rabies around 29. Like, they know what time it is, right? And they start, musical chairs. Whoa, chairs are running out. So, Brother Hayoka is very correct on that. So, yeah, man, again, dudes, going back to that article, man, dudes aren't looking for money. Dudes aren't looking for money like that, bro. That's just not something that they do. Not most men. Most men don't care. I think most men understand that they have to provide, right? So a woman, if I met a woman who is 35 years old and just dropped dead gorgeous. That's, like I said, I always use Logan Browning as an example. Let's say she's 35 years old. She's Logan Browning, right? And she's making $32,000 a year as a hostess at Ocean's Prime, which is it's a chain, but it's a pretty decent chain. The one in Tampa is pretty nice. There's one in Beverly Hills in LA. If you're ever out there, it's a really good spot to hit up. But let's say that she's, Ocean's Prime hostess, $32,000 a year, no kids, beautiful, drop dead gorgeous. I mean, just Logan Browning, right? I would absolutely talk to her. I could care less about her income. As a matter of fact, I'm like, yo, we gonna level you up. I'll have her working for me. She'll be working for me, making this podcast better and figuring out how we got it. Because we're gonna make her salary. Like, look, why don't you come work for me, and you'll double your salary working for me. Give me a year, and I guarantee you we'll double your salary, at least. Why wouldn't I? And let's say she got a good head on her shoulders and she just started working because, I don't know, she had to take care of her mom or her grandma sick or whatever. I don't know. But let's just say, and she was fit, friendly, feminine, absolutely. I don't care about her money. Now, that doesn't work the other way around. That does not work the other way around. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm going to have to go back and read that Business Insider report because it still sounds a lot like they were talking to women. But if they were talking to couples, normally women take over the conversation when we had these kind of conversations, women would take over. Because the guys are just kind of sitting back. Well, I got her. This is what I married. We cool. So whatever she says, I'm good with. You know what I mean? But Brother Ayoka, you're absolutely right. Those women, 18 to 24, man, I'm telling you, they are living the life. And if they listen to red pill content, they are going to be dangerous. They can get themselves a man. You know what I mean? I know that Miss AKA Lady talks about this all the time. And even Suzette Speaks talks about this. Like, forget about the top 20%. How about getting a guy that's like at the very top of the bottom 80? Yeah, that's a good strategy. Go ahead and give it a shot. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Because, a lot of women are like, man, I ain't never going to share. I don't know. I was on Melanie King's show last week, and we were talking about, spinning plates. I was telling her, like, well, listen, back in the day when I was out there like that, I never had any issues with women. I would let them know you're one of however many, one of 5, one of 6, 7, however many in the rotation, you one of. And Melanie just went ballistic. Like, what? You know what? I should react to that. Let me find that video and react to it later on this week. I'll probably react to that on Thursday. She went off. Like, what do you mean? And, it was a really good conversation. It was good content. As a matter of fact, I am going to do that. I'm going to do that Thursday. I'm going to make a thumbnail. Melly goes off on me. I don't know. Maybe on the thumbnail I'll put Melanie King refuses to join my team or something. I don't know. I'll come up with something. Like, she was like spinning plates. Now, what? She couldn't understand the concept, but we broke it down. We had a good conversation. But there are women who will share top tier guys. They will share them with no problem whatsoever. So long as they get the ring, they get the last name, it's their name on the mortgage, right? It's on the deed, is their name tied to the retirement accounts and all the other accounts. Go ahead. They cool with that. Don't bring home no babies. Don't bring home no diseases, right? There are women out there. There are women out there who will join in. I'm learning now, talking to some of these younger dudes who are doing well, like, making this Bitcoin money and whatever. Bro, they getting 3, 4, 5 ways all day, every day. Like, what? These guys have zero game. They just papered up. You know what I mean? You're wondering what's going on in these yacht parties. Roman relations. Let's put it that way. Y'all know I'm trying to keep it clean for YouTube. Roman relations is what's going on these boats, on these yachts. They're having straight orgies, y'all. Straight orgies. And you'll be surprised with the women who engage in this sort of thing. The girl next door type, beautiful woman, just come from a good home, mom and dad and everything else, and just out there. They are willing to engage in these activities with these guys. They certainly don't have to, but they do. To the point where they're even uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even want to be like that, but it's like, I don't know, maybe they get caught up in the competition. I don't know. Like, and it's like, man, these women all the time, I'm like, boy, they should watch some Red Pill content. They can see what time it is. At least go in there like, all right, I'm cool with this. I'm gonna let this ride, whatever. But this is where I draw the line. I get the ring. I'm mom. These are my kids. I get the last name. You want to go out here and smash a couple of these young chicks, go ahead or whatever. But you coming home to me. They'll sit there and say, I would never do that. And then these same women to be engaging in these like orgies with these dudes thinking I'm gonna give you the best sex you've ever had. It's never my sex is different than her sex. It's not. It's not different at all. It's the exact same. It's the exact same. The exact same. You know what I mean, Brother Helka? I know, but it's an indicator of competition among women. Is going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. Absolutely. Brother Helka continues. You remind me of Rollo saying women will share success with alpha rather than stay with the faithful beta. Facts. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Facts. And it's, again, we're talking about all women? No, we're not. We're not talking about all women. But most, this isn't new. This has been going on since the dawn of time. They point this out all the time. Donovan Sharp, fresh and fit. You know what I mean? All the time they pointed out. Rollo Tomasi, Coach Greg Adams. You know what I mean? They pointed out all the time. Even if you watch some stuff like even Hafiz, like you watch the roommates. Well, Hafiz, I don't even think they do the roommate stuff anymore. I think Chris is doing his own thing and Hafiz is doing his. But even when they sit down and talk about it, they'll concede that point. A lot of times they'll concede that point. You know, when you talk Saucecast, you know what I mean? Shout out to Adam Sosnick, what they're doing over there at Value Entertainment. What Adam was talking about. Adam will tell you, bro, how many women has shared him? You know what I mean? It's funny no one's asking the question. Like, bro, I'm pretty sure it's a ton of women that share him. Jedediah, like even on her show, she talks about it. Just Pearly Things talks about it. If you have the bread, if you are a top tier guy, you know what I mean? If you bringing down $200,000-$300,000 a year, you're having no problems whatsoever. And you couple that with a little bit of game and some savvy, bro, you bringing down the top tier chicks all day long. Man, look, like I said, I didn't have a bunch like when I was doing my best out there in them streets, I was broke. I was barely paycheck to paycheck. Broke, but I was slaying them. Bro, you have no idea. I was slaying them. So, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. But we got to talk tonight, y'all. I wanted to talk about that article. I was really hoping that article had, like they cited the sources who's in the survey. I had no idea it was a married couple. Maybe I should have read the article first. But it was like really spur of the moment. I was sitting here. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna read this live. Let me read this live on air. And that's why I did it. I'm gonna be back tomorrow at 6 o'clock, we're going to be talking about this guy who went to human resources because his boss got too touchy-feely. His boss was a female. And what happened to the guy? You got this story. Y'all got to hear. It is, again, double standards. It is what it is. Brother Heyoka, as long as you can keep it quiet, no woman wants to be publicly shamed by either a charge of 304 or her husband sleeping around. Facts. You got to know how to keep it on the low. We call that, you know what I'm saying? Got to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I can't. To this day, I have men running up to me asking me about, yo, did you smash this one? You smashed that one? Da-da-da. I'm like, no, not me. Bro, don't come asking me that, man. If you went in the sandbox with me when I was a kid, I don't trust you like that. I don't know you. Most men will use anything and everything that they can to undercut you to get some woman's affection, bro. They say all is fair in love and war, man. They ain't joking. So, fellas, if y'all out there, this bro code thing, that's not a thing for real, bro. You need to know who you talking to. You got to be talking to a certified cat, for real. Don't be thinking like, oh, that's your man over here. Y'all cool because y'all work out in the same gym that he won't throw you under the bus over some woman. He will. He will lie to her. He will take a little bit of information he got from you, tell her, now she thinking y'all tight, and then he'll throw you under the bus so he can try to be there. He wants to be the one she comes crying to so he can try to smash. That's their game. You know what I'm saying? There's some haters out there, bro. So be careful with that, y'all. Be careful. Brother Mark is in the house, my favorite devil dog. What's good, fam? Shout out to you, man. It's for real. Definitely salute to you, man. It's like, sorry for the Bengals. Yeah, bro. 3 points. That was a heartbreaker. But why did your defense have to kick Mahomes out of? Yeah, that dude. What that right there was the dumbest play. I'm pretty sure that guy, he's catching hell. He called hell before they even got into the locker room that night. You know what I mean? The senior guys on the team was already screaming at him. There's video of it out there somewhere. And when he come back to Cincinnati, man, definitely he's gonna hear about that. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was just that's why you got to be a heads up player, man. That's why you got to, football's a thinking man's game. I mean, that literally cost the game. But there were other things too. You know what I mean? I didn't even get to watch the game, bro. I got stuck at the Miami airport, spent the whole day at the airport. I got home just in time to hear the end of the game on the radio. I didn't get to watch any of it. So mad. Don't worry, I'm gonna catch a replay. I think it should be one on YouTube. I'm gonna find it and watch the replay. But hey, man, we're a young team, bro. I'm not worried about the Bengals. If you're a Cincinnati fan, I'm a lifelong Cincinnati fan, bro, going back to the 70s. And if you know our history, you know that this is the best time for the Bengals franchise in the history of the franchise. I mean, Chase, we got Chase, we got Higgins, we got Boyd, we got Hurst. You know what I'm saying? You got P. Ryan in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? You got man, I always forget his name, our starting quarterback, Mixon back there. You know what I mean? You got Joe Burrow. Our defense is good. They're going to pick up a couple, a couple more defenders. Cincinnati's always had solid defense, and that offensive line was banged up by this time of year. But, when that offensive line was healthy, no one could get back there and even touch. Joe, you give Joe Burrow time to do stuff, man, he's going to tear you apart. So, you know what I mean? And then people were saying there was some bad officiating. That came from folks who weren't even fans of either team. They're just fans of the sport. There's a lot of officiating going on, a lot of bad calls and this and that could have swayed the game one way or the other. But here's the thing. We lost the football game, man. That's all it boils down to. We lost. We got into the Super Bowl last year because of a field goal. We didn't get into the Super Bowl this year because of a field goal. Next year, hopefully them boys will leave no doubt. Next year it'll be a blowout. Whoever they face, be it Buffalo, be it Kansas City, whoever they face in the AFC Championship, it should be a blowout. So in the AFC North, there's a chance you might see all four of those teams in the playoff hunt because Cleveland, hey, keep your eye on Cleveland. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Come on now. One of the hardest divisions in the game. But, yeah, man, I ain't going to lie to you, man. My feelings are hurt. Hurt, bro. Hurt. Brother Helke, get back. Get back. You don't know me like that. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? So thanks for coming out, Brother Marcus, man. We just wrapping this up, man. I just wanted to jump on so I can stay in the grind. You know what I mean? It's too easy not to do it. I want to make sure I get up and do it. Monday through Friday. Get them out there. I'm gonna continue with the shorts. Be looking for the shorts, y'all. I'm definitely gonna do some reaction stuff this week as well. I'm gonna be reacting to Rich Cooper, Melanie King. I'm gonna be reacting to Fresh and Fit, and I'm planning a whole episode around the Charleston White interview, which is a very good interview tonight on the early show on Fresh and Fit. I really didn't know that brother like that. I wasn't too impressed with what I knew about him, but after watching this interview, I'm like, wow, okay, get it. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, having, Myron and Fresh, they bring in some really good people on the platform, man. I really like that platform. Even though YouTube don't like them, they suspend them. They just came off a week suspension. They were on Rumble all last week. They're on Rumble all the time, but they had to go primary Rumble because a strike that they was given on an Andrew Tate show from over a year ago. The hate is real, y'all. The hate is real. So, I'm going to wrap this up, man. Thanks for rocking out with me, y'all. I really appreciate it. We're going to keep this going. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make this happen. I'm telling you, this year, we're going to have some in-studio stuff going on. We're going to have some man-on-the-street stuff going on, probably on my next trip to Miami or Dallas or I'm supposed to be in New York, just waiting for the weather to get warm. So when I start doing that, it'll be better vlogs and interviews with folks when I'm there. I'm trying to figure out that. Stay with me, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all, my day ones. Y'all be making a brother work harder, and that's what I need. Keep pushing me. So, and I'm going to keep bringing you the best content I can. So that's it, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is DL Saint. I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.